Hello, hello. Happy Miracles Do Happen Monday. Hey, y'all. Okay, so I'm coming to you with story time about the recent car that I bought. And I was just thinking, I really don't want this channel to be all about my negative experiences as a consumer. But like I said before, I like to tell the good, bad, and the ugly of things. Some more videos later on down the line, I'll talk more about positivity, the law of attraction, scripting, and manifesting through spoken and written word. But this video just happens to be sad. It was a very upsetting experience. But before I get into that, I did want to tell y'all what I tried today. I tried something new. I bought some curry noodles. One thing I will say, I was shocked that it actually was a good curry flavored noodle. And I didn't read the directions. I did it like I do all my other noodles, where I fill the line up in the inside with water, and I put it in the microwave for 4 minutes. But obviously with these, I wasn't supposed to do that. So they weren't soupy like the other noodles usually are. It was like really dry. They were dried out. Like a little bit of my noodles towards the end were like kind of almost burnt, like to a crisp. But basically they just said that warm up some water on the stove or however, and just pour the water in up to the line, keep the lid on there and close it back and let it sit for like 3 minutes or so. But I was a little skeptical about that, because I thought that if I did do that, that the noodles wouldn't be all the way done. So I don't usually follow directions on the boxes for the noodles. So anyhow, that was a good thing that I tried. That was new. And I also tried a lemonade Sprite. It says Lemonade Legacy, celebrating 50 years of hip hop. Woo! And it was basically a Sprite, but it was like a lemonade flavor. And y'all might be wondering, why do I have this hoodie on? My hair is a mess under here. I took those braids out. I need to wash my hair and condition it, but it's not done. So I have a hoodie on for this video. Anyhow, I wanted a Sprite, but when I went in there to get it, I was like, I want to try something new. Basically, I just really wanted like the fizz or the acid, whatever that taste is of pop. But I wanted lemonade to try something new, and it was decent. It was pretty good. Because I remember with Sprites anyway, like if I was at a restaurant and I had Sprite, I would squeeze a lemon in it to make it more lemony. So I figured the lemonade Sprite would be pretty decent, and it was okay. So anyhow, I also bought a hot pickle, and some hot Cheetos. I figured I would eat them together as a little different little snacky snack while I'm talking to y'all about what happens with my dream car. And I could be a negative Nancy, but I won't, and say that I just have bad luck with Camaros. But because I don't know if I mentioned this before to y'all, but 2014, I bought a brand new Camaro. Yeah, I did mention that, I think. And I didn't have Gap insurance. A week later, my brother stole it without my permission, took my car, and wrecked it, ran into a tree or something, totaled it out. So that Camaro life ended very quickly. And I just didn't get another one. I decided to get the Ford Explorer after that instead. So, and this Chevy, oh, it was a beauty. And I'm going to get it fixed, but it's just the principle. They sold me a lemon, which I guess I can't say a lemon because it wasn't a brand new car and there's no lemon law for used vehicles. But basically, baby, they did your girl wrong. So, we're going to get into that. The idea is to eat them together. Gotta have my water. All this spicy stuff. Your girl loves spicy stuff. Spicy foods is my favorite. But let me tell you what happened. So I bought this car. Red hot 2020 Chevy Camaro with the drop top, baby. I bought it October 4th from Marietta Auto Sales. Now, how did I come about buying the Camaro when I really, really, truly wanted a Mercedes-Benz drop top? Because they got a lot more room in the back. They have a leather interior, and ooh, they're fire. But basically, in a nutshell, I was referred to this guy from a friend of mine. One of her friends told her about, you know, this guy. I think his name is Tori, whatever. They told me about him, and I reached out to him and, told him what I was looking for, a Mercedes. My budget was $30,000. Because for one, I didn't want a car note higher than $600 a month. I don't believe in getting a car note that is as expensive as a house mortgage. So I was like, okay, $30,000, that's my budget. So in a nutshell, Tori, I think he works at Roswell Automotives or somewhere. Gravity Automotive in Roswell, Georgia. Anyhow, he was like, $30,000 for a Mercedes. I don't have anything like that. He said, why don't you get a Camaro? And I was like, because I want a drop top. He was like, oh, but they got some drop top Camaros. He was like, let me look for you. He found one at an auction. He was like, I can buy it if you want it. And I was like, well, it's black. I don't want black. So I Googled what I wanted. Red, convertible, Camaro. Found one. Now, I didn't know this was a small off-brand. Well, I guess I kind of knew it was because it's not a top dealership like Chevy dealership or like a Hardy Ford dealership, Superior Chevrolet dealership. It's Marietta Auto Sales. It's a small place that sells cars. Not thinking that it's like a what do you call it? A buy here, pay here type place. But I mean, apparently it must be. So, it's a lot of juice in this pickle. So, let's pull that up. I have good credit, decent credit, in the 7s. And I'm like, I already got approved from the credit union. So I'm like, I know I'm not going to somewhere where they need to pull my credit. Oh, I'll just be dropping stuff. Put that inside. Pull my credit. And I have bad credit, so I have to deal with them type thing. It was like, they had the car I wanted. So I went for it. Even when I got there, they were like, let me see if I can beat your credit union's percentage rate. I said, you probably won't be able to. And he's like, well, we're going to try. So he ran my credit. Because first they tried to get me for just buy the car for $28,000. What? I am making all kind of messes. I'll clean it up later. And I was like, the sticker price to get me in here was $24,900. Now, why would I leave it out here paying $28,000? So that was an issue. He was like, yeah, I know it's a sticker shock. That's how it is. I said, y'all, that's what y'all do to get people in here. I should have walked away then. But anyway, I knew that I was approved for $30,000, so I was like, okay, whatever. And I'm not paying nothing out of pocket. That was my thing too. I shouldn't have to if I have good credit. Mm. Mm. That was kind of interesting, the taste. So I've been back and forth with them. Reached out to the credit union. And they said, okay, we're not going to be able to get this approved today because they have to do their research on the vehicle and see what the market retail value rate is for the car, and also look up their Carfax and everything. So that was like, we'll have this ready for you tomorrow. And they called me back. So I had the whole night. I started thinking about the fact that I didn't want to pay a down payment. $28,000 was way more. They should really go down. Being that the sticker price was listed at $24,900. So I thought about it overnight. In the morning, I called them back. First, I talked to the credit union. And I called them jokers back. I said, listen, I'm not going to be able to pay $28,000 for this car. I was like, well, we'll see what we can do. The credit union told me they're only giving you our retail value, which is about $25,000. They were like, okay, we'll see what we can do. What can you pay for a down payment? I said, I shouldn't have to pay a down payment. I never had to in my life. Why would I want to start now? But then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I sold my little Ford Explorer for $1,352. And I was like, if I do pay a down payment, that's the most I'm going to pay. So I told them, I went back to them. I said, you know what? I can do $1,352 down payment. Why did I do that? But anyway, so credit union approved me for like $25,000 or so. And I did get gap insurance. So they included the $300 or so for gap insurance. Oh, excuse me. And they said, if you want to pay $28,000, you got to pay the difference. I told them jokers, I'm not paying $3,000 difference. So that that $28,000 has got to come down. So they worked the numbers down. They still left a high $1,099. I forgot what kind of fee they called it. That was their fee from the dealership, $1,099. Dealer fees or whatever it is. So I'm like, okay. They act like they brought the price of the car down to like $22,000 and some odd dollars. In a nutshell, I ended up paying about a little bit over $26,000 for this vehicle. And I'm thinking I got a good deal. Yes, no, maybe so. I mean, as I'm signing the paperwork, the finance manager, his name is Chase, kept trying to get me to buy this $4,000 third-party warranty from them. He was like, used vehicles don't have a limit, are not under the limit law. So if you leave out of here and something happens, your car is not going to be covered. And I was like, this is a 2020. Do y'all not check your cars before you like sell them? He was like, yes, we do. But if we put them on the machine and there's nothing that shows up and we don't know, and then you get it and days later or whatever, something happens that we didn't know about and didn't exist when we checked the car out, there's nothing we can do about it. So I just kept saying, because in my mind, why would a car that's just 3 years old break down in a couple days of me having it? So in my mind, in my experience of buying cars, because I take care of my cars, baby, I keep my cars unless they give out on me. Even with the Ford, I had it for 10 years. And like year 9, when I had to get a new engine, I did it. But year 10 came, the engine wasn't put in right from year 9. The motor mount wasn't put in correctly, so the engine shifted, which caused me to have to need a new engine, probably a new transmission. what else? Another motor mount, AC axle. I don't get me to making up stuff now, but it was other stuff that was intertwined with that cause and effect situation with the engine shifting. So I said, I'm not buying another engine. I'm not. And I even said to myself, I wasn't buying another American car. But here I am today. So let's get back on track. I buy this vehicle. I kept telling him I'm not paying $4,000 for a warranty for a practically 3-year-old car. I know how to take care of my car, sir. If something happened years down the line, I know I need to upkeep and have maintenance on a vehicle. I know how to do that. That's not a big deal. Not thinking that 8 days later or so, the car is just going to break down because it needs a new engine and a new, what do you say, turbocharger? That's what the dealerships say. You know how they do. And I am not one to go to the dealership for anything, really. Because I know they jack up the price on everything. But it's October 12th. I'm rolling, cruising. I have dance class, which is like an hour and 10 minutes away from me in Tucker, Georgia. My car stopped in Clarksdale. I'm driving. I get off the exit. The check engine light is on. The engine is knocking. And then the words came up saying, stop the engine soon. So I pull over and I slow it down and it ends up stopping on me. So I put it in park, and guess where I stopped at, y'all? This is God. I stopped right in front of the front gate of a auto repair place in Clarksdale. I called AAA, of course. I'm out of toes and I know this. And they said, in order for us to come out and help you, you have to give us $100. Now pay us $100. So I paid the $100 so they can come out. And the guy, he came out in the van. He checked the battery. He said, it's not the battery. He said, I do hear a knocking on the engine. He said, but it's not your battery. He said it could be the rods or the cam. These are things that I don't know what they are, you know. So I'm like, okay. He was like, so you're going to need a tow truck. And of course, I don't have any tows left. And I'm 46 miles away from my home. But he was like, well, just drive it over here to the gas station to get it out of, because I was blocking the entryway of the repair shop. And he said, I'll call a tow truck for you. And don't come in 30 minutes, give AAA a call back. And some just told me just call AAA anyway, right away. I called them and they were like, well, he didn't call a tow truck for you. I said, well, he said he would. They said, well, he didn't, and you're going to have to pay the first 5 miles are free. But every mile after that, you're going to have to pay $7. Remember, I'm 46 miles away from home. I was like, don't even worry about it. I took my chances, drove that car right back over to that auto repair shop. Called an Uber. Left that car unlocked. Put the keys underneath somewhere in the car. And prayed that nobody just came and took off in it, even though they wouldn't have went far, you know. Because remember, this is an area I'm not familiar with. Clarksdale, it's not far from Decatur. And we know Decatur, where it's greater. It's pretty much kind of the hood. So I wasn't sure about Clarksdale. So anyway, let me take another bite, y'all. It's good. One thing I like about this little snack is that it's crunchy. Crunchy. These are crunchy. Crunchy and spicy. So anyway, the Uber driver used to work selling cars. He was like talking to me about everything because I had to pay $60 to get home. Remember, I'm 46 miles away. So he's talking to me about everything with the car and giving me suggestions and ideas of what to do. He said, you really need to call the dealership. It could be still under warranty. I was like, okay. So that's one thing I did take away from our conversation. Because the next morning, I realized I had left my tripod in his backseat of his car and my iPhone charger. So I reached out to Uber and they said they'll charge me $20 for him to bring it back out to me. So he reached out to me. We talked to each other. And he told me when he would be able to bring it back out to me. In the meantime, he had texted me 2 numbers. He texted me one to an auto repair shop. And then he texted me one to the local dealership. And I was thinking to myself, I don't really mess with the dealership. And I told him that. But for some reason, I was like, you know what? It could be under warranty, like he said. I'm going to go ahead and call. I called, and they was like, how many miles is on it? I was like, 52,900 or something like that. And they were like, well, anything 60,000 and under is under the warranty for powertrain. So they was like, what's the VIN number? I gave it to him. They was like, okay, send it over to us the next day, because this was Friday, I want to say, when this happened. Whatever the case, I had it sent over to them Saturday. They get the car. First of all, the auto repair place had already looked at it and told me I needed a new engine. Okay. And they said that they would charge $6,000, $4,100 for the engine and like $1,800 or so to put it in. And this was a used engine that they were putting in. They had like a 6-month warranty on it or something. And then I was like, okay, thanks for letting me know. I had a tow truck, which I had to pay $130 for. And this was only 11 miles, okay? They talking about it's $100 to hook it. The hook fee is $100. And it's $30 or so for the miles, whatever. So they towed it to the dealership. And the service rep at the dealership looked into it. He said he was going to look into it the following Monday. But he actually looked into it that Saturday. He was like, ma'am, I'm sorry, but your car needs an engine as well as a turbocharger. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, you need both, because more than likely, because the engine is out, you're going to eventually need a turbocharger. You can't drive the car without a turbocharger. Whatever the case, he said it's going to be $11,000 and something. And I was like, come on. I said, is it not covered? What's going on? He was like, well, it's not covered because the whole life of the vehicle, it's I pulled the Carfax and it only shows that it's had 2 oil changes. And I'm like, what? I said, sir, I just bought this car. You know, I was like, hypothetically, if I would have just randomly took it to get an oil change when I first bought it, would this have happened? He was like, I don't know. So anyway, he kind of pissed me off. So I ended up calling the people I bought it from and talked to, first I talked to Rafael. He's supposed to be a manager. He was like, we don't know what we can do for you. I would find out to see if you could still purchase the warranty from us. Now, mind you, I've already asked Superior Chevrolet how much a warranty would be, even though the warranty won't cover what just happened going forward. She was like, it's going to be $2,900 for a warranty to add on to this car. And I was like, okay. Now, them jokers tried to sell me a warranty for $4,000, and they were third party, you know? So I'm glad I didn't buy that warranty. Anyway, at the end of the day, the manager, he said we could try to give you a discount on fixing the car. A discount? I shouldn't have to pay nothing to fix a brand new car brand new to me anyway, that I purchased from you all. That's how y'all do y'all customers? I need to talk to somebody over you. I really said I want to talk to the owner. He transferred me to Toby. Toby is the general manager that claims there is no owner, that it's a corporation. There's 3 locations that he's over, and there's no owner or something. And, they're just going to refer the problem back to him. So he said, I'm going to tell you this right now. What I tell you, you're not going to like, but basically I can give you a discount, get the part that you need or parts you need at cost, and charge you what I would pay for labor instead of charging you more. And so my rate is going to be cheaper than the dealership. And I'm just like, once again, they not understand it. I have a car note. I have full coverage of insurance, which is $320 something because it's a sports car. $320 something a month for full coverage insurance. And these bills are still coming every month. Car note, $500. No, $540 or something is my car note. Something like that, or close to $500, whatever it is. And I'm just like, this joker don't get it. He want me to come out of some more money for something y'all should not have even sold me. Make it make sense. So at the end of the day, I have done so much stuff. I have talked to state representatives, Secretary of State, making complaints about the people that sold it to me. I even escalated the situation with Superior Chevrolet, escalated it to the GM customer relations department. I'm waiting on them. They said by Thursday, hopefully this week, they will be able to contact me. I have talked to consumer lawyers. I have given them a 1 rating on their website, Marietta Auto Sales. I have also made a complaint about Marietta Auto Sales with Better Business Bureau, and I should have looked at them first on Better Business Bureau because they have an F rating, y'all. I'm not the only one that complained about them. I had put in a complaint for their license. So I'm doing what I can, y'all, to get out of this situation. Worst case scenario, I will have to end up paying for a engine and a turbocharger. I shouldn't have to. I am disappointed, upset, and discouraged. I will never buy a used car from a little small rinky-dink place. It would always be a dealership. I'm almost hesitant to even buy a used car from this experience. But if I do, I would take somebody in there that knows about cars, a mechanic, or take it to a mechanic place before signing on the dotted line and purchasing. So that's my story, y'all. Pray for me. I know it's going to work out fine. See y'all. Good night.